Hi everyone, Greg here with LaserBear. I am showing you how to make your Retro Fighters adapter function correctly with our Blue Retro adapter. So in its shipped state, it does not have the ability to trigger any of the detection modes that we have on the Blue Retro adapter in order to let the Blue Retro adapter know that a controller is in that slot. So if you have like a Bluetooth controller connected to player 1 and you plug this into player 1, it will not move the Bluetooth player to player 2. So to make it function, you do have to pop this apart. And you can just go in with really anything that's got a nice flat edge to it. And you're just going to pop the two halves apart. So there's two little tabs. And then there's two tabs on the opposite side too, but you should be able to just kind of pull it apart. So there's two different ways that you can do this. One of the ways is the solder-free method. The solder-free method, all you have to do is bend this tab up to the point that it contacts this little, let me zoom in just a little bit, so that it contacts this little crystal. So to do that, all you're gonna do is you're gonna bend this back just a little bit so that the arms of this are above the PCB. Then you're going to take and bend it around until it makes contact with the top surface of that crystal. So the top surface of the crystal is grounded, so that's kind of how you're grounding that shield pin out. So that will work in most cases. I don't know about long-term effectiveness, if it would cause damage. I don't believe it would. The way that these crystals are usually laid out, it shouldn't really do anything damage-wise, especially since this connection doesn't move in this. So this plastic is gripping very well to this. So I don't think that it's really an issue that has to be worried about, but just want to throw it out there that it could be an issue. The more permanent and the better solution, however, is to make a jumper wire that solders to both of these spots. So first off, I just got a little piece of wire and I tened both ends of it. And then I'm just going to go in with the black wire and we're just going to piggyback off of the black wire. So you want to give it enough solder gumption or enough heat for the solder to start kind of moving. And I don't want it touching my center pin there. Looks like my ground pin also came out. Make sure it's still connected. This is a little bit easier if you're not doing this with a camera screen or a camera, but come here. And but yeah, your goal is to just get everything connected to this ground connection at the bottom here. Just like so. And then you're going to take the other end of your wire. You're going to put a little bit of solder on the tab and just hit it with a little bit of solder just so there's something for the new shield ground to connect to. And all I'm going to do is tack it into the shield, just like so. Now both of these are connected. And you just You want your wire to kind of be out of the way, so tuck everything inside and snap your cover back on, and nobody know you'd ever been inside of it. The only other change that you may have to do is if it's still not being detected after you've done this change, you're going to go in on your port. So sometimes in these third-party connectors that we were able to source as the only ones that I could find at the time, these sit too far in. And all you got to do is go in, pull them out. You just want there to be something there for the shield to touch. And just do it on your top and the bottom. It's not as critical for other controllers like first-party controllers. This method isn't really needed. The detection circuit works on first-party controllers without these pins being important. But on this mod that we did to this adapter, in order to get it to work, those have to make contact to the shield. So after that's done, when you plug it into your console, it should move the player 1 over to player 2. And I'm just testing it real quick on my console. And it works perfectly. So that is the methods that you can use to make this fully functional with our Blue Retro board. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let us know. This unfortunately was in production before we finalized the design on our Blue Retro board, so we didn't know that it only operates on the 5-volt output, whereas every other accessory that we tested before this came out functioned on the 3.3 volt, which is the detection method we went with for current detection. I'm not planning to do a redo of the board with current detection on the 5-volt. I think we would run into complexity issues because we'll have to add more logic circuits into the mix in order to detect both the 3.3 and the 5-volt. So it's kind of cumbersome to implement support for both of those voltages. Thanks and have a great day.